What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. And if you saw the title or the thumbnail, yeah, you know we're probably lifting the Jeep. But let me explain. It's cheaper than fixing the wheels, if that makes sense. So let me explain, and then we'll get into it. Because I think I said originally, I'm not going to lift this one. I'm going to just make it sorted out, make it really nice. And yeah, we're lifting it and putting wheels and tires on it. But like I said, let me explain. So the wheels on this thing are absolutely destroyed. They are corroded under the clear coat. They're just really, really ruined. Here's probably the worst offender here. They're just really, really destroyed. And now my wife, who's not even a big car person, even said originally, man, those wheels look really bad. Can we do something about that? And that's where I got this idea on these Jeep Wrangler wheels. Now, these are the same Jeep Wrangler wheels that I've been running on my Jeep Grand Cherokee, and they are outrageously cheap because they are the base model sport aluminum wheels that come on 07 through 18 Jeep Wranglers. And absolutely nobody wants them because, again, they're the base sport wheel, and on a Wrangler, they just look pretty normal and boring, nothing exciting about them. So you can find them outrageously cheap online on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or wherever. And to me, at least, they look really good on these second gen Grand Cherokees. So I was able to pick up a full set for $40. Yes, not $40 a wheel, but $40 for the full set. And yes, they do have a few little bumps and bruises, but compared to the destroyed wheels that were on this thing, they are going to look a million times better. And that brings me to the tires. I actually had a set of used tires sitting in wait for this. This was a set of tires that I replaced off of a truck and didn't want to throw them away because they were the correct size for my Jeep. So being the hoarder I am, I just hung on to them and went, well, I'll eventually use them. And then this thing came along. So my tires were free, my wheels were $40, but I cannot clear these tires without a lift. So that brought me to my lift. Now this is just a 2-inch rough country spacer lift, and that's what I started with on the Burgundy Jeep, was just the rough country 2-inch lift, and then a lot of things happened after that and a lot of parts got put on it. But this lift without shocks is only $95 for the front and rear spacers. No, this isn't some awesome, crazy articulation long arm lift we're putting on it. We are purely just putting a lift on it so we can clear those wheels and tires and make this Jeep look 10 years newer, probably. I don't know. Those wheels just really make this thing look aged, tired, and worn out. So new wheels, some used tires, a cheap lift, and this thing should look 1,000 times better. But let's do a quick walk around on all of the small little things that I've been doing over this last week to get this thing a little bit nicer place to be. And no, I haven't really filmed it because they're all just such little piddly things, but I at least will show you guys, give you guys a quick update on everything that I've done to it. Now, the biggest visual thing that I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, or I didn't really notice originally, was this whole driver's side of the Jeep was absolutely covered in rusty mineral deposits because it was parked next to their driveway and their lawn sprinklers just covered this thing every single day. So, like I said, it was just completely red, rusty mineral deposits. I was able to take some, now detailers, paint guys, close your ears real quick. I was able to take some floor degreaser with a microfiber towel and basically use that degreaser, and it pulled all of that red mineral rust off this thing in a really short, quick time. Now, another thing I did was pull, it had a dealer installed vinyl pinstripe with the little Jeep logo here in the back, and I don't know, I'm not a big fan of those. To me, they date the vehicle since it's not really in style now, so I went ahead and pulled that vinyl pinstripe off with one of those rubber eraser wheels. I've got a little clip of that I can throw in, but yeah, pulled that vinyl pinstripe off and again, made it look considerably nicer, newer. Another thing I did was throw some new rear hatch struts on this thing so the rear hatch would hold itself. I again threw some hood struts on it. But probably the biggest transformation here has been this driver's door, and it is unfortunately the wrong color right now. But if you guys remember how this thing looked originally, it was covered in tape, glue, everything holding that broken window regulator, holding the glass up into the door, and it was absolutely a mess. There was tape residue everywhere, all over every piece of rubber on this thing. So ran out to the salvage yard expecting I'd be able to find a nice Laredo slate gray door panel and get all of my window trims and everything I needed. And that's where I ran into the issue. There was no slate gray door panels laying in the salvage yard. They were all either destroyed or taken already. So I settled with getting this taupe colored door panel because I figured it was only 15 bucks and at least it was not destroyed and covered in tape. It's at least a nice place to be. Now, I threw a used window channel run on. I grabbed a door seal while I was there because again, everything was covered in glue and mess. There was a belt molding that was covered, and again, that door panel. And I did throw a window regulator in here, and I actually had to replace the glass because it was so scratched up from using blades and knives cutting and scraping old tape away from the previous owner that it was just gone, too far gone. Got a used one again out of that same Jeep at the salvage yard, and I'll just keep my eye out for a correct door panel there at the salvage yard. Now I have at least moderately vacuumed, cleaned this thing up so it's a livable thing. You guys saw that video, we threw automatic headlights in it. Now under the hood, the only thing I did was replace this rear PCV valve hose. It was cracked in half. It had a really poor, terrible repair done at the very bad place that has been working on this poor thing. So we've at least got the vacuum leak fixed, but I haven't really addressed any of my leaks or anything yet. Now I did take this thing in shortly after I got it and changed engine oil, front axle, rear axle, transfer case, changed all of those fluids just because I couldn't bear to drive this thing not knowing how long any of that stuff had been changed. And no, again, I didn't really video any of that. It wasn't very notable. The fluids were pretty dark and old, but nothing was alarming. So everything got fresh and it should be happy to drive now. But enough talking. Let's get this thing into the shop. Let's get it up on the lift. Let's get this lift on it, the wheels and tires on it, and hopefully have it looking way, way newer and nicer. All right guys, we got the lift installed and I threw the wheels and tires on, and gosh, it looks, what, 10 years newer? As you can see, obviously, the same wheels that I've got over there on Cheap Jeep. Cheap Jeep still has a little bit more lift height over just this 2-inch lift, but man, it looks so much better. I'm really, really happy with it. It just looks, like I said, 10 years newer almost, with some not destroyed wheels on it. I went ahead and took the little mud flaps, the molded mud flaps that this thing had on it, probably since day one, but again, those make it look a little bit more street and not as much off-road. So gosh, I don't know, I'm happy with it. And in a short 2-week time frame, it looks a lot more cool and a little less soccer mom going down the road. Now the tires are about the same size that I run on the Cheap Jeep, but it is a teeny bit lower on the white Jeep, and I think if I did take it off-road, it would probably rub really, really badly, but on the street, it looks a ton better, and unfortunately, that's where that one is probably going to be living, is street driving, since I do have the burgundy one built up so much and so well for off-road, but it at least looks good. And that's the whole point about Jeeps, right? Looking good driving on the street. So guys, hopefully you liked the new, I don't know what we're calling this thing, Cheap Jeep 2.0, little update on all the things I've done, and we got it lifted, wheels and tires today, and looking so much better. So guys, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.